morning. I felt like turning off the radio because it just didn't seem very important to me. I figured I'd just talk to myself and record it. And I wish more people would do that, because when you listen to the content that someone else is providing, then you're letting someone else be the authority of your thoughts, right? You're letting someone else be the authority of how you feel about yourself and about the world, and that's pretty powerful. And if you actually look at how you feel after you pay attention to content, then you can you can see why I would raise this point. Because when I listen to the news, for example, I really don't come away from the news feeling good. I'm not smiling, or I'm rarely smiling, and I'm not excited. I don't have hope. So that's kind of what the news does. And I know it's not all of the news, but it is a large part of the news. And so these people are they're basically creating a mental health problem in our society. They're like a mind-altering substance that when you are done with it, you feel bad. And that's, if that was a drug that you could buy at the store, you wouldn't really go back for more. So I've already talked about reasons why people do it. I think it's the reason why people do that drug is because they want to feel, basically they want to feed the ego, right? And feeding the ego is something that's addictive. Even if when you come out of that experience, you end up not being happy. You end up not having hope. So, and the counter to that is if I go and create content that, like a book or a video that basically dissolves the ego, that dissolving of the ego is uncomfortable, and so that's not really the answer, because it just won't work. Like I believe in dissolving the ego, but it's something you have to choose to do. I can't do it for you. Or you can go take mushrooms, and if you end up submitting to the mushroom, to the mind-altering experience of these plants, they do have the ability to dissolve the ego. And if you don't submit, you will have a very bad experience. And I do think there's a place for these mind-altering plants and fungus in society to help with our mental health problems. I don't have to listen to the news. I could listen to the radio, or I could listen to music. But even then, on the news and with music, there's advertisements. Like I really don't care about these advertisements. These advertisements, they're either not speaking to me and it's just kind of noise and it's a waste of time. It's not really helpful. Or they're trying to arouse a feeling of want within you that, and so it's manipulative. It's still kind of it's content that is changing your mind that isn't necessarily helpful. Because if you wanted the thing that they're trying to sell you, you would have already gone out and looked for information about that thing, but they're trying to plant a seed, an idea in your head that you want something that you really don't want. You didn't want it until they mentioned it. But then you have the music as well, and the music, it's there's not a lot of good music out there on the radio. And I know there's good music out there. I've listened to good music because I'll go find it and I'll download it and I'll go through other channels other than the radio. And that whole thing makes me interested in, having my own station, broadcasting kind of my own content on the radio. I'm definitely interested in that idea, because the people who are broadcasting stuff on the radio aren't providing what I want. But I'm not the average consumer. My boss, I made that statement to my boss, and she was trying to say it in a nice way, but I said it anyways. I said I'm not the average consumer, and that was with regards to the post office providing content to me, right? So I said I'd like to get rid of the dadgum mailbox. I don't even need a mailbox. Our company could go work with the post office and basically save them money by just scanning all the mail and sending it to an email address, just digitizing it, and then not spending the money on gas and the money on labor to go and deliver mail. And you just digitize it at its source, at its origin, and provide it to the destination email address that's configured in the system. And we could do that very easily. We do that today for other markets. But the response from my boss was that she enjoys looking through the junk mail. And, our technical manager was saying that, people are more likely to look through mail that comes in a mailbox than they are to look through the junk mail in their email inbox. And so there's a lot of money there for marketing. So you make more money. So yeah, there's people who want to make sure that you see their content, their advertisements. And so if you allow someone like me to not send stuff in the mail, the idea would be that the advertisers are going to have less hits. They're going to be less successful if there was a system like that. So think about that. We end up spending a lot of money, a lot of energy, a lot of human potential, a lot of resources toward advertising, right? And it's not just that we spend it toward advertising. We actually, if you take my perspective, I'm being forced to consume content that I don't want. I don't want a mailbox. I don't want ads coming into my mailbox. I want it to be digital. I don't want to walk out to my mailbox to receive the junk that you gave me. And, same thing on the radio. I don't want all these advertisements. And so you basically, I think it's like there is an effort, maybe has something to do with capitalism, but there's this attack of the mind, this like each individual is subject to an onslaught of manipulation, manipulative techniques, manipulative strategies, and they're all, there's a struggle for your mind going on. I mean, I'm part of it right now. I'm kind of struggling for your mind. That's not my main goal. My main goal is just to have fun talking to myself and avoid allowing other people to have my mind, right? I'm trying to control my own mind instead of allowing all these other people to control my mind. And I'm trying to show others, how to do the same, how to control your own mind and become your own authority, your own source of information. And so I've been reaching out, and I've been reaching out for years. The idea I have is and probably need to create another post dedicated to this one idea, is that I want to do recordings with other people, and specifically I want to do recordings with older people, because older people have a lot of experience. And if you think about it, if I think about all the things I know, all the knowledge I have, the older generation has knowledge that I don't have. And so that knowledge can be lost. So there's knowledge out there in the minds of people. It's not available to me. And I'm craving that knowledge. I'm craving the wisdom of older generations. I'm craving a relationship so that I can bounce my ideas off of this reservoir of knowledge and experience and get some feedback. And I'd like to record it, because it's just it's something that would be innovative. There's not a lot of people doing this. Like, there's not people going out and having discussions with old people. Like, that, it's pretty simple, but where is it? Where is this happening? And that's what I want to do. I want to go out and have conversations with old people. And so old people sometimes don't want to be called old, but I'm reaching out. I've reached out to one old person. I probably should go to a retirement home and get to know some old people. But that's the idea. That's what I'm going to work on. That's the idea I have lingering in the back of my head. If the old people I know directly, who I can communicate with right now, aren't willing to do this, then I'm going to have to go try to find old people. You know, people in their 60s and up. People in their 60s and up, maybe 50s and up. I mean, as you get younger, it becomes less attractive, just because the probability of losing that knowledge in your head is decreasing because you're younger, and the amount of knowledge you have, the amount of information you've experienced, is probably smaller. And those are like mathematically accurate statements when I say probability and probably, right? So that's it.